Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my NHL 20 franchise mode here in the state of hockey. Now, we're going to start this episode off a little different. I have a few complaints about myself. I have a huge canker sore in my mouth. It hurts so much, but I'm here recording because I left it till the last moment to get a video up for what day is tomorrow? Or the day this is going up, the 6th of, what month is it? June? Oh my god, we're not even halfway through 2020. I hope everybody is doing great. I know everything's so messed up right now, just stay safe. Hopefully I can bring some happiness to you when you watch this. Now, this series has been going on for a very long time. Not as long as Columbus. Columbus went what, 150 episodes? 150 days, upload every day, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Haven't missed a single day. September 15th will have been a full year. I plan on doing the full year. That is my goal. Now, it feels like this Minnesota squad is getting, I wouldn't say stale, but I would say we need to spice it up. So, now that everybody's here early in the episode, hello everybody, consider subscribing. We're trying to hit 600 before the end of the year. I don't like throwing that into your guys' faces because I know you're here for hockey. And that's what I provide, but don't worry, that's what I'm gonna do. Now, I have a few things to discuss with this squad. Now, we left off in the last video, getting through the draft. Quinn Hughes actually retired, which changed our outlook for the offseason. $12 million off the cap. Our captain retired, which sucked, but that means we could retain Toby Kahn and Cale Noonan for a foreseeable future. Now, I hadn't even noticed, Quinn Hughes, when he retired, had the second most amount of assists of all time. I'm almost 100% positive. I googled that the other day. Go ahead and Google it. He's like top 10 all-time in scoring, or close to. I think he's right behind Teemu Selanne. For a defenseman, one of the best, if not the best defenseman ever. I would say it's up in the air right now, but a career nonetheless. 6 Stanley Cups, and I've had a few days to reconcile the Stanley Cup Finals loss and how I messed up putting DeAndre Moore in Game 7 when it definitely should have been Spencer Knight. Why did I forget his name? It's been a few days since I recorded. I usually tend to pre-record a bunch of my videos, but I don't even... I was saying an option. I'm going to put it out here right now. This team will need to rebuild soon. Now the question is when, and we're just going to start off this episode discussing contracts. Because this team has been fighting a long time with their contracts. Because we have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 790 overall players on the squad. One of the best high-stacked squads I've ever made. And we've done a phenomenal job keeping the cap together. Because for the first dynasty, if you could say, of the Minnesota Wild, guys like Anthony Francis came off their ELC. Cale Noonan. Pietrangelo took a hometown discount. Brant Clark did. We've lost a lot. A lot. Langweeder. We've lost Marcus Mironov. I miss them so much. But this squad is changing very, very soon. And we're going to talk about the contracts ending next year. Harry Parrish, Bissonnette. Those are 2 big ones. We have Don Kreider to talk about. We have Schoonen to talk about. Enlund. This is all happening this offseason. I think it might be time to blow it up, and a lot of you guys have been suggesting that, but I'm going to put it out there one more time, because it's in the next season or so, and I mean blowing it up, I mean legitimately tearing this squad apart. Guys are going to be sent left and right. Pietrangelo isn't getting any younger. Francis is not getting any younger. By the end of this next season, Pietrangelo will be a year older. Everybody else will be that much older. That's how age works, Owen. I know. Our top guys are getting older, the guys that have won us 6 Stanley Cups. We can't sustain ourselves very much longer. Because these contracts coming up, right? Oh, in the system. Why did I go in the system? Oh, all expiring. Harry Parrish, he's going to ask for what? $13 million next year. Not a fun contract. Bissonnette's going to ask probably close to 10, right? We don't even have enough money for that. Don Kreider, all these other guys are making things rough, which means we're going to lose one of our top guys very, very soon. That's a fact. But I want to keep our young guys involved with the squad, and it comes down to a decision between Don Kreider and Schoonen this coming season. Who is making the squad? Now I would say 75% of my lined up locked in. You got your top line, second line looks all good, and then the bottom six is looking a little barren. Defense is looking like it usually does. It looks pretty good. Probably going to lose Enland, and the guy I really want to bring back of both these forwards is Don Kreider. He's a year younger. He's excelling. Once we turn him to that two-way forward, he really took off as a skater. Almost half a point per game. I like that. Playoff stats. He was really good. 8 goals. Not to take away from Lawrence Schoonen. Why did I call him Luke? Lawrence Schoonen. No disrespect. 42 points. He's been phenomenal during his career. He's been great. But we look at contracts, right? Don Kreider wants 4 over 2 years. Schoonen wants 3 over 2 years. We have $6.5 million to work with and a few holes to fill on the squad. I think I want to go ahead and offer a contract to Don Kreider first. At the end of this contract, he's still going to be an RFA. Now, my goal is to get him to accept a lower deal, which would save us a lot of effort. 4.125, 2 years. I'm okay with giving him that contract if we can get him under 4. I'll go up to 3.65. But right now, that's the only contract I'm sending out to all those 3 guys. Okay? Because we have to make a few decisions. Now, I have 2 teams I want to look at. There's a few holes to fill on this squad, but let's go ahead and look at it. Our depth is going to struggle. We're spending so much money in our top lines. That's a fact. There's hundreds of millions of dollars being spent. You look at all these other teams. You got a few contenders that are way under the cap. We have succeeded so much because of our stars in the regular season. We have faltered a lot, though. We need to change up this squad sooner or later. But we have to make a trade. And since we're going to lose Johan Enland, who really hasn't turned out to be much, we have Georges Tremblay, who can probably fit into our top 6 defensive core in the NHL this season, who I'd love to bring over. And I would be willing to give them Enland straight up if they really want him. Enland, they want to do that deal. I know that there's a 2-year age gap? 2-year age gap. But see, Enland wants $5 million. Tremblay is on his entry-level contract for 3 years. I'm willing to do this deal straight up. Maybe they throw a 4th-round pick in it for us because our depth pairing is probably going to not be mediocre, but it's with our top 4 as it is right now, Grossman, Parrish, Bissonnette, Brandt Clark, there's no budge room. So we have to find a guy who can replace and grow there on the bottom pairing. So Enland, enjoy Columbus. Trade rejected. Okay, let's go just straight up. Johan. Why do I call him Joel? Thank you. Welcome to the team, Tremblay. Was it Tremblay? Oh, I didn't even read it. Tremblay, welcome to the squad. Now, I am leaving it out there for you. I want to hear the discussion in the comments below. Do we blow this team up? Do we blow this team up? Now, I believe there's another trade I wanted to make. It's been a few days since I recorded. Give me a little break. So, we have to go all the way to Calgary. Calgary. Yes. So, we have to look here. Because we have to find a depth forward to fit in the NHL this year. I'm thinking of Ashton oh my god. It's not even that late, Owen. You haven't been drinking. Ashton Sereda. Yeah, I got it. I don't know why I had such a hard time with that. So, Sereda. Any other guys on the block that I had that I was intrigued with. Nobody else kind of fits the bill, but he can probably be an NHLer for us this coming season. Now, I like what he can do. He's young. He's really unproven. He hasn't been playing great in the AHL, but he's 77 overall. Our bottom six is looking really sad, and with the amount of money we have to spend and how much we have to retain, we have to be smart. Now, you could say, well, you have like Klim Reed, you have Dylan, you have Kavanaugh, you have Lindholm. These guys aren't going to be ready next year. If we do a 1 year, a guy on his entry-level deal, it saves us a lot of money instead of retaining Schoonen. We don't have the money right now to retain him in the assets that we have to bring over. So what do we give them? Or what do we trade? Now, I think the right thing to do... He has a lot of trade value, you know that? I think the right decision right now is to just use other assets, because I believe I have a trade on the trade block for him as well that we can use. But right now, we have goalies if they want a goalie. I mean, do the Calgary Flames need a goalie? I mean, Yaroslav Askarov is on the block. They need a prospect. They have Briere, who's 31, and Askarov's 34. So they probably need a goaltender. I'm willing to give them Hutchinson, who's medium elite. I'm fine with that trade. I mean, Voloshenko's a year older. I mean, we could go with either one of them. Our goaltenders are kind of locked in. Zenicarano, Solis are probably our best bets for the future. So Hutchinson, which means we can get a little back. There's a little give here. Even though they don't want him, they need a goaltender badly. I would take 2 seconds. Now, it's an unproven goalie. 2 seconds, we could get a first, but will this trade go through? Trade rejected, so I'm willing to throw on. You want a third and a fourth. To do that, Calgary, trade accepted. Thank you so much, making my job a whole lot easier. It's house cleaning day, folks. I know, a lot of this is going very, very fast. I believe in this episode we're going to get a little simulating done. Not sure how this offseason looks so far. If you disagree with anything, I would love to hear about it, because I love talking with you guys so much. But with the money that we don't have, Schoonen, I've never known how to pronounce it, is our best bet in trading to get a little bit of cap relief to help us in free agency so we can get a depth guy, right? Because we just traded for Sedera. We got a bunch of prospects over. We have a lot of young guys coming up. We don't want to hurt too much this season and going forward, right? So I know, is there any top picks out here? There's a first from Columbus. There's a first from New Jersey. I'd rather go with a Columbus because you got a prospect there. We just traded with Columbus too. They're a contender, but I've never seen them do anything. I mean, I think they didn't do too bad last year. I would hate to trade away Schoonen. It's another prospect that we can flip eventually, right? So I'm willing to do that trade for a little bit of cap relief. He's not making any money right now, but with the money that we would have to pay him, there's not a lot of budge room there. So Schoonen, enjoy Columbus. We'll miss you, but see you around the block. They have Mironov. I hate those bastards. How's Mironov been doing? Making $12 million? Totally worth it, by the way. Absolute beauty. He hasn't been bad since going to Columbus. Down season, up season, all over the place, but he's been great his entire career. What a beauty. Absolutely love him. So, I believe that's all the housekeeping we have to do this very second. Don Kreider is kind of the asset we need to see come over right now to make things work. Now, my job is not done here. I have to do a lot of work going into next season, but we have to bring back a little bit. Oh, I had to check how many goaltenders we have. How many goaltenders we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we have budge room there. That is good. I like to see that. So, speaking of free agency, we have to bring on a little bit. So, Oh, that sucks. Okay, we have to see if Don Kreider signs first. Okay, first, I'm going to send a contract to somebody who deserves it. Oh, God. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Am I crazy? Do we... Oh, did we trade... Oh, we did. Okay, so I think our best bet right here, right now... Wow, wait, can I go to overall? Am I missing something? Spencer Knight. Spencer Knight was an absolute beauty for us. I'm willing to give him a contract again. One more go at it. I think we have one more legitimate season at a President's Trophy and all of that. I'm willing to give him a $1 million contract for 1 year. Get a little bit of redemption for our mishaps in the playoffs. But that contract, I know we could go with the younger guy, but I think Spencer Knight is the guy to go with until our younger guys are better. But for that, I think that's all we can really do right now. We just have to see if Don Kreider signs with us. And even after that, we don't have a lot of budge room. We have basically none. Let's go ahead, sim a few days, and see what happens. No, I don't want Setaguchi. Setaguchi. That's not a name I've heard in a long time. And he was from the Sharks. Spencer Knight, sign that deal. Don Kreider, make our offseason a whole lot easier. Come on, Don. Please. Don Kreider signs that contract. Yes, that is exactly what I needed to see from Don Kreider. Sucks that Skuin had to leave, but how much money are we working with now? $3 million, more than we had. You could say you could have signed Skuin for that amount of money. There was no guarantee, though, and we had to act fast. So let's go to centers. I'm really looking for a third-line center this season. Just an affordable third-line center. Nothing special. I mean, there's a Sebastian Aho who's he's asking for that. He's really asking for that amount of money. We could go for a Nathaniel Ling, who is a power forward who could work on a third line again. I don't hate that. There's not a whole lot of options though. We could go with a young guy like Alexei he wasn't ours. I thought he was ours. We've had too many prospects in this franchise mode. There's a lot of options here. Let's be smart. Ling, we should know all about. He played on the fourth line a bit, right? We could go with a young guy who will probably be retained by the team. Carolina, yeah, he'll be retained by his team. There's no problem messing with that. Nathaniel Ling, I think, is the guy to go with at this very moment in time. You got a Chistov, Alexander Chistov. He might be, for the fourth line, that might be really good for us because I don't really have anybody for sure in the fourth line position. I think the bottom six is just a touch and go. Touch and go? Is that really the right expression to use? I'm not too sure, but for the time being, we have almost 4. We can afford to sign both. We can't give Nathaniel Ling too much of a raise. We'll go 1 year at $2.3 million if he wants to come over with a legit contender. I'm okay with that. We'll go ahead and give Chistov a contract as well. 1 year at what he's really asking for right now. We have no room. But those contracts would really help our bottom six. Now, our bottom six is going to be looking a little weak. But right now, that's all we can afford. Nathaniel Ling has signed a 1-year contract coming back to Minnesota. Appreciate it, Nathaniel. I really appreciate it. And our other contract on the table. Okay, got a trade there. 80 overall defenseman to Winnipeg. Columbus gets Mura and a 4th. Good job, Columbus. You're actually doing something in this franchise mode. And come on, Chistov has signed that contract, and that is good for me. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, simulate towards the regular season. And wait, did we trade Enlund? No, we traded Enlund. God, I'm all over the place right now. Swear to God, I'm sober. I'm good. Let's go ahead, get to the regular season. I have a lot of work to do, but it's only going to be a second for you. So after, I don't know, half an hour of messing with lines with a bunch of prospects, signing a few free agents to help us out in the AHL, I think I've found the right lineups. There will be a few things you will probably disagree with, but for our future, I believe this was the best thing to do. Now, we did simulate one game into the preseason. Doesn't matter, I just needed to get a few things on, or a few players onto this squad. So let's go ahead, jump into the lines, see what we are working with. Now, before I start talking about this, I posed a question not too long ago. This team will need to rebuild. This team cannot sustain itself for very much longer. It cannot. Our top six, phenomenal. The best in the world. Our defense, best in the world. Coaching will need to change once we decide to pull the trigger. It could be very soon. I know I've heard a lot about let's change the coach right now, get it over with. Until we aren't a regular season success or things start, I will know when the time is. I will know. Trust me, I will. I believe you guys, this team will need to be blown up, but then we have to start asking ourselves a question. Who goes where? How do we manage that? And that's what I want to hear, because I believe we don't have much longer with the squad that I present to you right now. We have lost so much in the last 5 years of this franchise mode. But this is the squad we're rolling with. We're trying to go for another cup. This team is capable of winning another Stanley Cup. That bottom six isn't the best, but I think we only need not even the best of players in the bottom six. We just need placeholders for this very second in time. The first line you don't have to discuss now. They do have a zero morale or line chemistry. If we go Pietrangelo on that second line, then you get Kill Newman up to that first line. I do have a problem with that though, because if you go like that, then the first line, their defense is all out of shift. Pietrangelo is kind of that anchor. He will throw around the body. He doesn't care about that. He's gonna take penalties. That's whatever. But Pietrangelo is the anchor for that first line defensively, because then if you put Pietrangelo on the second line, then you got a playmaker, power forward, and a power forward. I like the sniper, playmaker, power forward trio. They're a +3. That first line, I did change Anthony Francis to a sniper last year, then we changed him back to a playmaker. He was on pace for his worst season. He did technically have his worst season, 110 points, don't worry about it. But he's currently a playmaker. That first line shouldn't have a problem. Second line, we already discussed it. Harrison Hadar is an absolute beauty, and I love him. Second line, easy. Top six isn't a question. Third and fourth line, very interesting. Our AHL is so stacked with prospects. I hadn't even realized how much assets we have acquired over the last few years of being a champion and the few trades we have made. We're so stacked in the AHL. There's a lot of eyes on a lot of prospects. That's why the bottom six is looking for that right now. It's looking like this right now. There's going to be a lot of turnover. We're going to lose Chistov. We're going to lose Ling, Albert Schautzer, Della Rovere, and Olas, who is on the third line. You can debate that, but he's a sniper. I kind of like him. I have a weird feeling he might be a good fit there on that third line with Kreider and Chistov. I'm not sure. We have to try it out. Nathaniel Ling, Albert Schautzer, and Della Rovere. He's a center, but I feel like he's not in the right position to be in the AHL anymore. We need to give him a shot in the NHL. This is what we have to go with. Trust me, the AHL is stacked. In a few years, we're going to have too many prospects to try to fit in the NHL. So that's what I'm kind of going for. Defense is looking phenomenal. Now we have a few contracts to discuss this season. Harry Parrish and Georges Bissonnet's contracts are up at the end of this year, and that is going to be a pain to deal with. But right now, it's looking phenomenal. Matthias Grossman, Brandt Clark. You could go Harry Parrish on that first pairing. But Grossman is a top 2 defenseman. He's 22, and he needs to become the legit person on this defensive squad. Top 4, phenomenal, no question about it. They're all made for this squad. Third pairing is a little weaker than normal. Georges Tremblay, and then you got Brent Perez, who's finally making his return to the NHL. I'm happy to see him back, especially with all the turnover. He got a spot. Georges Tremblay, 20. We got him from Columbus. He's done pretty well in the queue. He's looking like he could be a really solid offensive defenseman for us in the future. He's getting some power play time, which I think will help him out. Now let's go ahead, check out the special teams. They're not as dominant as usual. Now, that's still a phenomenal power play. There's no doubt about it. You could change it around every which way, but ever since losing Kaprizov, we'll never get back to that +5. But still, it's a great, great team. 4-man Georges Tremblay is getting time there. I hope he has a good season there. Maybe he'll grow a little bit. It's still looking great. We're still a good team. Penalty kill is looking great here. Olas apparently works for a penalty kill. Okay. And 3-man penalty kill. This is the absolute best I could get it. Line chemistry has always been like this. It's not going to be our downfall. This is the best I could get it. Trust me, I try it every year. Now let's go to some extra lines. Looking beautiful. I show you these lines because I feel like it, and I feel like you have the right to know. Looking great, looking great. 3-man, don't want to ever mess with us on the 3-man. Extra attacker, Toby Kahn. Now, you can debate, Petrangelov should get in there. Let's give it to the kid. He's 24. He could be the captain of this team in no time. He led us throughout the playoffs. He was a legit player on this squad now. I'm not saying he should come for that captaincy, but I'm saying your time to step up is right now. Goaltending. Oh, did I show you the shootout? I don't know if I showed this. Don't want to mess with us. And our goaltenders. Now, there's going to be a little controversy. DeAndre Moore is the starter this season in the regular season. Now, he didn't have the best of playoffs. He did have a great Western Conference Finals and really saved us there. But he needs to step up as an actual starter because Spencer Knight is not really an NHL goaltender anymore. We signed him. I knew he was going to drop, but he has a right to be on the squad because of how well he did last season. Our healthy scratch players, Zimmerman, Bobby McFumbles, and Schultz. I usually don't have 3 scratch players, but I feel there might be a few injuries, and it might as well help us out a little bit. The AHL is where things get interesting. There are so many prospects on the squad. Almost all the lines have pluses, which is a huge positive. Get it? Plus, positive. Hilarious. Take a look at every line. There's at least 2 prospects on every line of the forwards that are important to our future. Landon Cavan, 27th overall pick in 2035. He's going to be good. He's probably going to be an NHL player next year. You got Ulf Hedman, centerman, 21, low elite. He's going to be good. Klim Reed. Kip Reed. Why did I say Klim? Kip Reed. I'm sorry. If only, let's say, 3 of the guys that we have in the AHL right now become NHL players for us one day, it's a success. I expect more than that to make the NHL, but be legit guys for us. If 3 make it, that's a huge success. Second line, you have Andrew Dillon, centerman, and Ola Alfredson, and Soretta, that we got from Calgary. Third line, you got Craig Lynn, you got Lindholm, and Ponikarovsky. All young guys except for Lynn. Fourth line, you got Pushkarev, who is, I believe, a top 6. I forgot he's a top 6. And then you got Kari Koskinen, who is not a prospect anymore. And then you got Jakub Vasiliev. It's a really good forward core. I expect big things out of all these guys. Defense, there aren't a lot of defensemen to talk about. The biggest guy here is Fred Gannon, or Gannon, whatever you really want to call him. He is American, so probably Gannon. He might be something. He's 21 at 71 overall. Might become something. Good trade value. Everybody else is kind of tweeners. Amante, No, we'll keep him on this bottom pair and keep that +3. Other than that, we can talk about goaltending. Zanacarano and Zykov. Zykov is an 81. You could say, oh, Spencer Knight isn't as good. Here's my theory. Sergei Zykov has no NHL experience. I know, it's my own fault. Spencer Knight can help us. I don't want to lose anybody waivers. Zykov's going to stay here. He's probably a trade asset for us. That's why I'm keeping him here. Spencer Knight has the veteran, what would you call that? Veteran edge to him. So I'm giving it to Spencer Knight. Zanacarano, I expect big things out of him. But those are the lineups. I'm not going to go into special teams in the AHL. You can just imagine it. But before we simulate, yes, we're doing some simulating. I know we're like 30 minutes into this episode. Might as well do a little bit. We have to talk about the captaincy. Quinn Hughes left a big spot on this roster. The best defenseman of all time retired from the squad. He's better than Ray Bourque. He played in a different era. It's hard to compare that sort of thing, but man, oh man, he was the most legitimate. He's the most legit defenseman to have played. It's a fact, Bobby Orr. Where are you, man, huh? So, captaincy. What do? Who is the captain of the squad? With the debate of a potential rebuild very soon, there is no captain. The alternate captains are Brandt Clarke. Brandt Clarke easily because he's the oldest defenseman, and I feel like there should at least be one defenseman with an A, just to spread the wealth. He's been on the squad since the very beginning, or since the first draft. But first draft? First draft. Yeah. Second draft. Second draft? What year was Brandt Clarke drafted? Year two. But still, he's been here. 5th overall pick. He deserves it. Petrangelov, no questions asked, and Anthony Francis. You can debate everything else. I want to hear your opinions in the comments below. Maybe we'll find a new leader because I don't know if Francis should have it. I'm not sure who should have it. Leave me your suggestions. I will not be naming a captain at this very moment in time, but you know what? Let's get some simulating done right now. We'll simulate the first game of the season just to make you guys a little bit happy now. While the preseason is going, thank you guys so much for the support. You guys rock. We're killing it. I upload every day. You guys are killing it. You come in bunches and you just watch the hell out of my stuff, and that makes me so happy to be making content for you guys every single day, especially when I leave it till the last moment. So let's go ahead and start this season out on a right foot against the Tampa Bay Lightning. In the first game of 82, let's see how things go here in Tampa Bay. First period. 2-1 Tampa Bay. Cal Newman scores the first goal for Minnesota, and Tampa Bay gets 2 straight. Great, love to see that. Spencer Knight is actually in the goal for the first game of the season. Poor DeAndre Moore. Second period. Okay, we get the goal back, shorthanded by Don Kreider. That's what I like to see. And Horton takes the lead. We are down by 1 with 20 minutes remaining. Let's make it a game. We usually lose game 1 of the season, though. That's usually how this works when we slow sim a game in the regular season. Don Kreider with his second of the evening. He's going to make a name for himself. You hear me? He's going to step up big. That's what I need to see from him. Power play. Long one. That's a long one, Minnesota. Can you get it done? Not looking like it, Mini. And we're going to 3-on-3 overtime just because I love you guys so much. Let's just jump into it. Okay, game 1. Overtime. We've seen this plenty of times. Let's see if we can start out on the right foot this year. That'd be great. Let's start it off right. New year. New me, I guess. Shot from Brandt Clarke on Conley, but he stops that one, stopping the play, slowing down the puck. Okay. Was that Steven Stamkos? No, that can't be Steven Stamkos. Kind of looked like him, right? What? No, that couldn't have been. I thought it was Steven Stamkos. Okay, I thought I was crazy. Okay, face off, and Anthony Francis loses that one, and they will send it all the way into the offensive zone. He's got a spot, dipsy doodles, and he's gonna throw it in front of the net. That's a stop from Spencer Knight. What a phenomenal save. Plenty of bodies in front, and he somehow makes the save. Show it again, boys. and you show the hit. EA, love you guys so much. It was a great hit, though. I'll give him that. Come on, Francis, start with a face-off victory here. We need it. We need it, and he loses it. 99 overall face-offs, ladies and gents. Voloshenko throws it in front. He's got a spot in front, one-timer. He kind of whiffs on it, but that's a big save for Spencer Knight either which way, and they will be going to the power play, and this is... We are struggling. Trying to find the right words, and that is just the perfect word to describe this game so far. We are struggling. No need to take that penalty. Spencer Knight has been our best man tonight. That's all I'm going to say. Don Kreider is up there. Let's see if we can kill this one off. Face off. He's going to lose. Oh, he's going to win it. And Georges Tremblay dumps it out. That's what I like to see from Georges Tremblay. And I can't pronounce these names. Wilmer sends it up. Dipsy doodling. In front for Potter. He's got an opening. And that goes off a skater's skate. And they will send it down to Tampa Bay zone. Great by our forwards right there. But he's got a break. A little bit of room. That's all he needs. Back down to the point. Oh, Knutson. Is that his name? And that's a backhander to end this game. I believe that was Wilmer with the overtime winner. Not much Spencer Knight could do there, but it's what we do in game number 1. We lose in extra time. That's what we do. That's what we do. I'm not even gonna look at it. There's no need. We lose one game, we get 1 point. Don't worry, the President's Trophy might be coming to us. This might be the first year where we start to take a little bit of a dip, and I'm not surprised. If we do, we do. That just adds a little bit more to this franchise mode. We've been so dominant for so long. 13 straight President's Trophies. It was close last year. Closest we've ever gotten to losing it to Calgary last year. So let's go ahead, sim to the end of this month. See where we're at the end of this month. I know we didn't get a whole lot done. We talked a lot, discussed about the future. Oh my, not a great start to the regular season. Might be a discussion to start next episode. Hopefully we can finish this month off strong. I know we're not even halfway through it yet. Petrangelov has been hurt until October 19th. It's not too long. Let's head coach replace player. He should be back after the Calgary game. We lose an OT to Colorado. Petrangelov is back. Not what I like to see, Petrangelov. I would like for you to stay healthy for us, bud. You're getting older, getting slower, but 34 years of age, don't have much longer on this squad. That is very scary for us. Calgary, can we get a victory here? Oh no, don't start the injuries, man. Bissonnette is down until October 31st. Head coach places player. I'm not super worried. Calgary, big victory there. We're losing players left and right. Oh my, I don't like this. Draft class, we can talk about that at another time. We're exactly 500. 2-2-2. Oh, Albert Schausser is injured. October 25th, head coach places player, and that's exactly why I have three healthy scratches. So, oh my God, Minnesota, slow it down, boys. Oh my God, damn. Where was this guy? Well, oh yeah, Ganon. Wait, who the hell did? Excuse me. Oh, Ganon's hurt? Oh, I guess I'm crazy. Okay. And a big victory there. Leon Albert Schausser is back. That's good for us. And we're gonna... Albert Schausser, yeah, we'll get him in here for Zimmerman. Welcome back. Olas, how you doing? 3 points in 9 games. Not bad. That's 0.33 points per game. I'm okay with that. Philadelphia, string some wins together here, boys. Not been the strongest of months. Don Kreider wants to talk to me, but ice time. You're playing more minutes than you usually do. This ain't the time to... No, I'm not going to agree with you. This is not the time to be playing games with me, boy. Not the time. Not the time. Until you prove it. Until you prove it. Let's keep going here. Let's... Oh, so many injuries. Bissonnette, I like that you're back. Please, everybody, stay healthy for the love of God. Please. Please. Not the greatest starts. We've been getting used to those kinds of starts. Still don't like them, though. Still, come on, just finish off the month with 2 victories. Come on. Anaheim and Vegas. Anaheim and Vegas. Come on. Anaheim. Anaheim and Vegas. Big that was a few victories in a row there. Last game we lost in regulation was... Oh, you mean the 2 games that we lost in a row. Good month. Not a bad month. It was iffy up until those few game winning streak. But I like the way we handled that. First in the division. Not the worst month we've ever had. I like that. It was weird there for a little bit. I don't like those starts. And Anthony Francis having a good month. We're going to quickly go through it, end this episode. I upload every day. It's not too bad. You can wait 24 hours or whatever time you're watching this. Just binge my episodes. Looking like a few guys are stepping up. Looking like a few guys are not doing the best. Our depth is not doing the best. Struggling there. Struggling would be putting it lightly. Laying Don Kreider, not even doing the worst. On the third line, I know he says he's a second liner, but who is he really going to replace there? Toby Kahn's doing great. Minus players, though. That first line is having trouble. So my thought that Pietrangelo would help us defensively on that first line might not be the best decision I've ever made. Minus players, that's not good. They should always be plus players, especially with the amount of points that they put up. Francis is doing great. Newman is doing great. That second line seems to be our best or most consistent line. Defensively, all around, that second line's probably our first line in a few years. Probably. Cale Newman's 32, yeah. So, a lot of questions here. Defenseman. Brant Clark, 15 points, stepping it up once Quinn Hughes left. Do we name another old captain? You know, that's a question. I don't think I'm going to name one this season. I think we can wait a year, take a year off for Quinn Hughes. I think that's a respect that he deserves. Best defenseman of his generation. The question is on the table. There are a lot of questions on the table. I'm going to rephrase it again. Rebuild when it's going to happen. I want to know who goes, no, the question is, who needs to retire here in Minnesota? Who needs to retire here? I would say Francis, Pietrangelo. I think everybody else is on the table. That's just my opinion. Brant Clark, phenomenal. Harry Parrish, as that new top-line left-handed defenseman, stepping up. Grossman, 5 points -1, not the worst. We had a weird defensive month, so I'll leave it there. Georges Bissonnette, 4 points in 8 games, not doing too shabby. Georges Tremblay, -2 points, no penalty minutes, could be better. Schultz came in for 6 games, 1 point, +1, and Perez is a -2. So there's a lot of minuses on this squad. I'm assuming goaltending has been great. Goaltending has been great. I rarely kind of see those stats. They're both basically 9-10s, and I know in the NHL today, IRL, 9-10 doesn't cut it for a starter. But in this game, a 9-10 can probably win you a Vezina. So there is something rooted in this squad that they're not great defensively. The goaltenders are doing everything in their power, both basically at 2.5 goals against, doing everything in their power. Definitely a lot of questions on the squad. I'm not sure if I'm going to pre-record these, or I'm not sure if I'm going to record these episodes far in advance, or pre-record the next few episodes, but a lot of questions. I listen to all your guys' suggestions. Trust me, I do. If I don't respond, my apologies. I sleep 20 hours of the day. Jokes, huh? I record for 20. But a successful month, 8-0-2. We've been strong. We need to get stronger, though. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, please leave a like, leave a comment, share with people who you think may enjoy this sort of thing. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.